Hello guys, how are you doing today? Now we are going to learn that how we can create a list view based upon our data which is stored in our database. And yesterday we have learned how we can create a add form file and how we can actually insert the data to our database. And now we learn that how through that stored data we can create a list view based upon that data. So for this I am going to go to my layout folder and I am going to open my activity main.xml, and here I am going to add one list view. I only need a list view in this file and I am going to give it a ID as my list. After that I am going to go to my main activity file, and in it as you know we have already set content view to activity main, which is this file in which we have putted our list view. And if you want to put your list view in some other file, then you have to define the layout dot that file name without any extension. And in this file we are going to create three components here. First would be my database helper file object, same as we have created in add form. You can refer to my last video if you want to see how we have created the database helper and add form file. Then we are going to create a list view variable. Since we have a list view in our activity main and we have to define it, so I have taken a list view variable and I have named it as list view with small l. And one more element, I'll take array list, and I'll take array list of string type because my data stored in database is of string type and I have to populate a data of string type in my list view. So I'll take array list string and I'll give it a name as list data. Equal to new array list. And here we are going to define this list view. Equal to list view find view by id r.id dot my list name, that is my list. And now I am going to have database helper and I am going to same as we have done in our add form file. And now I am going to call a function called populate view. You can give any name to this function, and now we'll create a function, and in it basically we are going to call our data. So for this I am going to take cursor data is equal to database helper dot get data. Get data is basically a function in my database helper class. So now go to database helper class and let's check it what get data is doing. See, get data is having a select query which is coming in a string variable called query, and this we are taking in cursor data and we are returning the data. So basically we have returning a array which have certain values from a table, and here in main activity we'll fetch this because this is of cursor data type, so we'll fetch it in cursor data type, and we'll have to have a while loop because since the data variable is having a number of data, there are so many data in data, that's why we are going to have a while so that we can fetch all of that data. And we'll create here data dot move next. This is an inbuilt function, so once first value would be fetched, then it would move to next, then second value would be fetched, then next, and similarly we'll fetch all the values and we'll add that values to our custom array, which is list data. So here we are going to add it with the add function. Since I have to change it in string, so I'll write here get string, and here I have to define the column name which I have to get. So basically we have taken the data from getData method, which is having a select query, and through while we are getting all that data which is in our data variable in list data, which is array type of string, and create a custom adapter, public class. I'll give it a name as custom adapter extends base adapter. Since here we can have only one superclass, so we have to define this one inside our superclass, and this is going to take some methods, so we are implementing them. In get count, we have to get the count of list data because we have all our data in list data, so we'll get the count from our list data. I'll write dot size, which would be responsible for taking an integer. These two we'll leave them as it is, and we'll set our data in get view, and here we are going to add values to our convert view. You can refer to my earlier list view data files to see how we can actually create it. And now we'll inflate. Inflate is basically to tell the compiler that we are going to start. Dot layout dot inflator is basically the start. So here I am going to pass a new custom activity, and this I am going to define in my layout folder. I'll go and create a new resource file, and I'll give it a name as custom activity. And here we'll take one text view. This is basically to set our single row data, and I am going to increase the size to 24. And it's done. Now we'll go back and we'll create here the second variable null, and then we are going to take text view equal to text equal to text view, convert view dot find view by id, r dot id dot text view, which we have taken in our custom activity, text dot set text, and we'll set its text from list data dot get, and we'll pass position here, and we have to return convert view. So basically what this is doing, this is setting up our view for the list view, and we have taken a text view, and I have defined the text view ID, which I have taken in my custom activity file, and I have assigned it to text. Then I have assigned text, and I have set its text to the list data get position. So one by one all the data in list data would be setted as a text to our text field, and this would make our list view displayed. Before I run this, in our add form file we have to add an intent here, so that after adding the data we can move to the main activity in which we are actually having the list layout. So I'll go ahead and create an intent. In it I'll add form, dot this, and my main activity file name dot class, and start activity, and I'll pass intent in it. So now let's run it. We'll add one more animal name. As you have seen in my last video, I was adding some animal name to my database, and I'll add here cat. Data inserted. And one thing we have forgot to do, in our main activity file we didn't call. Here we have to call our custom adapter. I'll give it a name as adapter. Now let's add one more value. Data inserted, and this is all the data which I am having in my database, and we can format it as we like to. I don't have formatted it nicely, that's why it's showing like this, but it's showing all the data here. So now in my next video we'll see how we can actually rearrange these data to look more nicer, and we can add an image to our database, and we can also show our image along with this text which we are fetching from the database. So thank you guys so much for watching. Do like, share and comment. Thank you.